Recording. Okay, so I say it as briefly as I can. This is a short piece of acknowledgement where first idea is that to be of the highest level of poetry writing, one must also admit that words are valueless. I know many good poets have expressed the true value of the words. They always compared words to what they intend to point to, and made the comparison between what words carry and what they described is. But with the time, the words and insisting on the words became tougher. And why was that? It's basically because words are different if they're heard. If you hear somebody talking, have the impression, is great difference from having the transcript given to you and you reading it. When you read it, you make a lot of thought work about each word, and you can also change the order of the words, and you can play with the understanding of how you understand it. While when you are watching and attending and hearing and listening to somebody who is saying those things from the source that they say it, or the reason that they say it, or in the way that they say it, it's entirely different. So words of very little means to explain something that is unexplained, basically. Still, we exist and we are capable of perceiving and hearing and watching. We exist regardless of our words and regardless of what those words may mean to anybody. And why do we exist? Why do we exist if one went with it in the direction of the source of our existence? They might, after very long or enough practicing of surrendering to the entire force of the universe, to the spirit of the divine, or to the infinite perspective that is available to them. Anyway, if one gave up the entire field of explanation, what is not possible to explain, and one practice it again and again, the giving up of his concepts, of your concept, of her concept, whoever have given up on their concepts, on their shallow wording and the most profound wording, with all that they carry, if one gave it up and gave permission to what is, to the source of this intelligence, the source of this existence, to be, rather than translate it and work with it and move it and shift it and have an agenda about it, if one has given up all that and allowed the divine source or divine entirety or divine universe or the divinity, whatever word you describe it, no matter, but when you allow this infinite and ever living beingness to be you, and you looked at the source of the life in this direction and not below, not in the small things, not in the small descriptions, not in the words, but in the, shall we say, the whole of the divine spirit, or the source of the divine spirit, with the one given himself, given his existence to what it is anyway. So then you see that you are on a new platform of existence. That the letting go of the concepts and the ideas and the tendency and the inclinations and all the things that you know about yourself or know about anybody or know about anything, if you've given it up because they exist, is a much higher level of beingness, then perhaps you yourself become part of this divine, everlasting, infinite space or cosmos or field of consciousness or spectra, infinite spectra of experience. And when you've done that, you start to appreciate the fact that you went all this way, and you know that walking and advancement is part of this universe, this divine spirit, divine people, divine culture, and whatever you want to call it. It is a progressive phenomenon. So now, instead of being dependent on concepts, on expressible picture of universe, with all the advances that we can provide and make up and work for, we've given it all up for believing that the universe is progressive and there is outcome to our beingness. There's a natural progression of beingness. That is something also that needs to be acknowledged and being recognized for the progression that had happened, and along which line. And you find that the entire divine consciousness is moral. And morality is maybe the proper expression to describe evolution. Free evolution, untouched evolution, undisturbed, not intervened, not falsely described, and not need description. So the evolution of you may depend on something like I have just described. Yeah, so thank you. I'm Yo San Pedro. Nice to have you with audience again. Adios.